This is Ramchandra. I'm having 13 plus years of experience as a Java trainer and 9 plus years of experience as a Java developer. I'm going to handle like core Java, advanced Java, Spring Boot, microservices, real-time tools, and project. These are the courses I'm going to take. Generally, I'm taking on Java. So today, I'm going to give you a demonstration on what kind of concepts are we going to learn in Spring Boot microservices. After that, I'm going to give you what is the difference between microservices and RESTful services. So first of all, let me list out what are the topics we have in SBMS. In Spring Boot microservices, in Spring Boot and microservices, we are going to learn the below topics. First of all, I'm going to explain prerequisites of Spring Boot. Some points are required from core, some points are required from JDBC technology, some points are required from servlets. Those points we are going to discuss first of all. After that, we are going to learn Spring Boot fundamentals. We are going to learn Spring Boot fundamentals. Later, we are going to say Spring Boot data JPA. Spring Boot data JPA. After that, we are going to learn Spring Boot Web MVC and later RESTful services. RESTful services. Okay. And finally, we are going to learn microservices. Microservices. Along with these topics, few concepts I'm going to discuss related to AWS and some real-time tools. Also, we will discuss what are the tools which are required while learning Spring Boot microservices. Those tools also I'm going to discuss. These are all the topics, major topics which we are going to learn in Spring Boot microservices. At the end of this session, I'm going to explain what are the subtopics are there in all these modules. We are going to learn in detail. I'm going to show you in detail. So let us start a demonstration. Let us start a demonstration on Spring Boot microservices. Nowadays, to develop any project related to Java, people are using Spring Boot and microservices. This course become a mandatory for every Java developer. And especially if you're coming to fifth and sixth topics, based on these topics, we are going to developing projects in the real time in the companies. So first of all, let us understand what is the difference between RESTful services as well as microservices. At the end, I'm going to explain what kind of concepts which we are going to learn in entire Spring Boot microservices. Okay. And whatever the things you are expecting, like Apache, Kafka, Redis, JWT, OAuth, all these topics we are going to learn. Okay, anyhow, all those topics list I'm going to give you at the end of this demonstration. Yeah. Now, by using Spring Boot microservices, and microservices, mainly we can develop three kinds of applications. Or simply we can say, by using Spring Boot, mainly we can develop three kinds of applications. So what are those three kinds of applications? Yeah. First one is customer to business application. Customer to business applications. While talking about any point, if you are getting any doubt, kindly ask me at the time only. No need to wait for at the end of this session. Every day, this point is common to every class. If you have any doubt, if you are getting any doubt while I'm speaking, let me know in that time. No need to wait. If you want to ask any doubts about the previous sessions or about any other topic or any your project related doubt, you can wait for at the end of the session. So this is the common point for every class. Now, especially we can able to develop three kinds of applications. One is customer to business application. Another one is business to business application, business to business applications. And third one is standalone applications. Third one is standalone applications. In shorthanded in the companies, we are calling it as C2B applications. C2B applications, or we can calling as web applications, or we can calling as web applications. Coming to the business to business application, we are calling it as B2B applications, or you can say like, so this is customer to business web application. This is distributed applications. This is distributed applications. Like this, we can able to develop three kinds of applications. Let us understand what are these applications. Meanwhile of talking these applications, I'm going to introduce what is RESTful services as well as microservices. This is just a demonstration purpose. I choose these topics. Otherwise, whatever the topic you want, you let me know. I will explain that topic. Once we started our regular sessions, we are going to start from first topic onwards, prerequisites. As for demo, I'm choosing a topic like what is the difference between RESTful services and microservices. So there is a reason to choose this topic. You can understand at the end of the session. Okay, please be concerned. So what is a web application, or what is customer to business application? In general, in our real life, in our daily life, we are interacting with n number of web applications. N number of web application. In generally, how can we define a web application? An application which will provide response to multiple end users at a time. Multiple end users at a time is called web application. For example, take IRCTC, WhatsApp, Gmail, Uber, Ola, LinkedIn, Twitter. Like this, Amazon, Flipkart, Myntra. Like this, n number of people can interacting with the same application, and that application is going to provide the response to all the end users over the internet, or over the web. So the application which is running in the web, or the applications are running in the internet and providing the response to multiple end users are called web applications. Let me take, this is Amazon.in application. Amazon.in application. So according to end user point of view, how to define a web application? An application which will provide the response to multiple end users at a time is called web application. Okay, but if you analyze the background process of Amazon, really we will understand what is distributed applications. Whenever customer or end user trying to book a product in Amazon.in, mainly two things are very, very important. One is payment process. Another one is delivery process. So technically we are calling as payment service. Another one is delivery service. Whenever customer purchasing or whenever customer try to order the product, first of all, Amazon is trying to check whether there are delivery services or not. So whatever the address given by the customer, to that address, delivery services are there or not. So how Amazon will confirm whether there are delivery services or not? So internally, it will communicating with other applications. Amazon will interacting with other applications. Amazon will interacting with other applications. Let me consider these applications are courier applications like DTDC, Blue Dart. Some different kind of applications are there in the market for courier services. So Amazon is trying to interacting with these courier applications and asking to these applications whether are you able to deliver this product to so and so address or not. If these applications are accept, as these applications are ready to deliver the product to so and so address, then Amazon telling to customer what we can calling as do your payment process. So let me take here DTDC. Here let me take like Blue Dart like this. So n number of courier service related applications are there. So whenever customer trying to purchase the product or order the product, then Amazon.in application will check whether can we able to deliver that product to this customer address or not. If yes, remaining process will continue. Now, if you're coming to the payment process, generally there are two kinds of payments. One is cash and card, another one is cash and delivery. One is cash and card, another one is cash and delivery. According to situation, sometimes application only encouraging cash on delivery and sometimes encouraging only on cash on card. If you take Corona pandemic time, in those 1 year, 1.5 year, all the applications are deliver the products, all the e-commerce applications are deliver the product only through cash and card, nothing but digital currency, no physical currency in that time. That means Amazon to get the payment from the customer or to get the payment from the end user, Amazon application is communicating with the other applications. Amazon don't have their own banking applications. Okay, Amazon don't have their own banking applications or banking sectors or banking kind of business. So Amazon definitely interacting with some other applications. Amazon will interacting with some other applications like SBI, ICICI, HDFC, like that. So once Amazon is once these courier services can able to deliver the product to the customer address, then Amazon is trying to ask if the customer asking, if the customer enter like a cash on, if the customer enter like a cash on, what we can calling as cash on card, what happening? Cash on card, what happening? So Amazon application will interacting with the banking applications. Maybe the bank is ICICI or HDFC. So n number of banking applications are there in the market. So whatever the bank account having by the customer, taking those details, taking the account number, IFSC code, taking all the details related to that particular bank, and finally what happened? Amazon application will interacting with this banking application. So what is Amazon? It's one business application. What about all these applications? These are also business application. So one business application will interacting with another business application. One e-commerce application will communicating with the banking application. A e-commerce application will communicating with courier application. So these kind of applications we are technically calling as distributed applications. Got it? So this point we are technically calling as distributed applications. Yeah, distributed applications. Now observe carefully. These are distributed applications. Cool. So mainly in the real time, we are going to develop web applications as well as distributed applications. Web applications as well as distributed applications. Okay. Web application means customer is interacting with the business application. Customer interacting with business applications. Those kind of applications we are calling as web application, or you can say like an application which is running in the internet and providing the services to n number of customers or n number of end users at a time. Those kind of applications we can calling as web applications. To develop these kind of web applications in Java, to developing these kind of web applications in I'm talking about pure Java. Okay, I'm talking about purely Java related point. To developing web applications in Java, we are using two kind of technologies. One is servlet technology. One is servlets technology. Another one is JSP technology. One is servlet technology. Another one is JSP technology. But are we going to use servlet technology and JSP technology directly in the real time or in our companies? No. Why no? These points we will discuss. Don't worry. Why servlets and JSP technologies are not directly using, are not encouraging to use directly in the companies? There are having some limitations. There are having this technology having some limitations. That is the reason we are using Java based technology or Java related technology like Struts, JSF, Hibernate, Spring Boot, Wicket, Play, Wadi. Like this different kind of frameworks are there. Different kind of frameworks are there. So we are going to encouraging those frameworks. Once we start our regular sessions, I'm going to tell you what is framework, types of frameworks, what is ORM framework, what is web framework, what is a application development framework. All these fundamentals we will discuss. Don't worry. Now, our main motive of today demonstration is what is the difference between what is the difference between RESTful and microservices. Okay. Now, according to end user point of view, Amazon we are considering Amazon as web application. But if you understand the functionality point of view, if you go through the background process of Amazon, we can understand Amazon is a distributed application. The reason is to resolve end user requirement or to process the end user requirement. Amazon will communicating with other business applications. That means Amazon is one application and access HDFC, ICICI, DTDC, Blue Dot, some XYZ. So business application will communicating with the other applications. This process we are technically calling as distributed applications. To payment process purpose, Amazon will communicating with money brokerage companies like PayPal. So PayPal is one different application. Amazon is one application. But finally, these applications are going to interacting with each other. So these kind of applications we are technically calling as distributed applications. So let me give you a small definition for one statement I'm going to give you, not more than that. Observe here. An application which will provide response, application which is running in the web and provide services to multiple end users at a time is called web application or customer to business application. Now, what is a distributed application? Very simple. An application which is running in the web. It is also a kind of web application. An application which is running in the web and provide services to and running in the web and communicating with other web applications. Is called distributed application. An application which is running in the web and communicating with other web applications is called distributed applications. See, if the customer try to order the product through cash and card, definitely Amazon should communicating with these kind of applications. There is no other alternative in the Amazon. There is no other alternative in the Amazon. So definitely Amazon should communicating with all these applications. For example, whenever we apply for driving license, see more realistic examples, guys. Every discussion we are going to learn through real-time examples only, not a dummy examples. Okay. Whenever we trying to uh, book a slot for driving license or yes, driving license or driving test, we have a RTO application. Whenever we fill the RTO application, this application asking us enter Aadhaar number, enter Aadhaar number. So how RTO application understood whether our number is valid or not? Whatever the Aadhaar number is entered by the end user, how RTO application can recognize whether that is proper Aadhaar number or not. Proper Aadhaar number or not. Internally, RTO application will interacting with Aadhaar application. Internally, RTO application will interacting with Aadhaar application. Aadhaar application. If you take a KES project, nothing but it is a very famous project in the USA, Kentucky eligibility system. So what is this project, sir? This project is talking about health and health health and insurance plans. Health and insurance plans. Whenever a USA citizen trying to apply for health and insurance plans, internally it will communicating with internally it will enter. So, okay, let me say like this: citizen is going to enter some SSN number. In India, people are using terminology like Aadhaar. In USA, people are using the number like SSN, Social Security Number. Social Security Number, like Aadhaar in India. Social Security Number, SSN number. So one number, assume, let me enter one dummy number, 6789765. 765. Some number I entered. Now, whenever USA citizen enter a SSN number in the application of Kentucky state, nothing but for health and insurance plans application purpose, applying purpose, he is entering like he or she entering, or simply you can say USA citizen enter this SSN number. How SSN number recognizing as valid or not? And this especially this KES health and insurance plans only for Kentucky state government in USA. We have different states like Kentucky, New Jersey, Rhode Island, Ohio. Different kind of states are there like Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Karnataka, Odisha. Like that, we have different states in the USA. So whenever we enter, this application is purely belonging to Kentucky eligibility system, nothing but this application is only designed for Kentucky state. For example, if you take India, different states are there. In different states, there are different schemes like Amavadi, Kalyan Katka, okay, Raitu Bharosa. Like this, there are n number of irrigation projects. Like this, n number of schemes are there according to needs of the government, particular state government. Their state related CM will give some, for winning in the politics, they are giving some schemes, regularization for contract employees. Like this, different kind of schemes are there. Like that, KE is also providing some schemes like supplementary nutrition assistance program, child care assistance program, okay, Medicare, Medicaid, okay, QHP, like it is a insurance plans in India, Kentucky workers for unemployment purpose. So these policies only for Kentucky state. Now, for example, there is a guy related to New Jersey and applicable to this health and insurance plans. What KS is telling like, sorry, mister, you are not belonging to Kentucky. How this KS project is telling like whether this guy is not belongs to Kentucky state or not. Internally, it will communicating with a USA federal government project that is called SSA web project. Some kind of project is there. So Kentucky project will communicating with the SSA web project. So not only whatever the applications which we are developing in India, whatever the applications which are developing throughout the world, every application max will communicating with the other applications. How these what kind of applications these are technically distributed? How can we develop these kind of distributed applications? How can we make a relationship between RTO and other application? Whenever we fill what we can calling as passport application, it will asking our other details, and it will asking our PAN details. Otherwise, simply you can say like whenever we open a new account in the bank, the while open the account, there is a list of pages are there, and bank employees are asking to fill each and everything. Most of the cases we are entering Aadhaar number 4 to 5 times, PAN number 4 to 5 times in those papers. How banking application knew whether our number is valid or not, our PAN number is valid or not? Banking application internally communicating with what? Other application internally communicating with the PAN card related applications. So in most of the cases, all the applications will interacting with the n number of other applications. For example, let me take makemytrip.com. Makemytrip.com. Now, what is the use of this website? Trying to book the tickets, maybe related to flights, maybe book the rooms in the hotels and trains, buses, cabs, like that. Now I want to travel from Visakhapatnam to Bangalore at what tomorrow. So let me search the bus. Now I'm making a request to what? Makemytrip.com. Is Makemytrip.com contains flights business, hotels business, travels business, trains business, buses business, cabs? No. This website is only useful for booking the ticket or booking the room so and so hotel or so and so restaurant, but it is not maintaining all these kind of business. So end user make a request to makemytrip.com. Makemytrip.com will communicating with the n number of applications in the background. See, Sri Ratan Tata Express, Manikanta Travels, Cherry Colors, Sri Krishna Travels, Rajesh Travels, APSRTC, TSRTC, KSRTC, Odisha RTC. Like this, it will communicate with the n number of applications. So in every way, most of the cases, most of the places, one application will interacting with either other one or multiple applications. In this time, makemytrip.com will communicating with the n number of applications. If you're coming to Amazon.in, it will also communicating with all banking applications. It will also communicating with all courier applications. Distributed means don't we think like only relation between two applications, maybe one-to-one or one-to-many, one-to-one or one-to-many. In this scenario, one-to-many. In the makemytrip.com scenario, also one-to-many. But it are not. So most of the time in our real life applications, if you take whatever the applications, 90% applications are trying to communicating with other applications. You might be getting the doubt like, sir, we are making a request to makemytrip.com. How all these applications are reacted within the same time? How all these applications are reacted within the same time? There is a concept like messaging queues. There is a concept like messaging systems. One of the most popular and repeat and frequently used messaging system is nowadays Kafka, Apache Kafka. Now, observe here, makemytrip.com launch, makemytrip.com send one message into Apache topic. These are all concepts we will learn. What is Apache Kafka? Who created first? Who taken that Apache? What is that software? Apache Kafka server software or Apache Kafka? And what is the main usage of this Apache Kafka? What is a what we can call it as Apache topic? What is publisher? What is subscriber? These are all we will learn actual topic in our SBMS. So makemetrip.com launch one message into one topic. Our topic means simply you can understand like this memory, storage space, simply storage space. So what is the message? Visakhapatnam to Bangalore. Visakhapatnam to Bangalore bus tickets. That information mentioned here. At what? August 1st. August 1st. Now what happened? Once the message is placing in the topic or memory space, then n number of applications are listening that message. N number of applications are listening that application, or listening that message, or connecting with this topic. For example, KSRTC, and APSRTC, and Sri Krishnaveni Travels, like this. Not only one or two, n number. So whenever message is dropping in the topic, this is called Kafka topic. Or for your understandability purpose, I'm writing like memory space. Just it is a memory space. So whenever message deliver or drop in the message space, memory space, at the fractions of seconds, all this application can listen that message and giving the reply to what is that into this Kafka. From Kafka again, makemetrip.com listen that message and displaying to us like this. That means in the real time, my conclusion point is only one. In the real time, one applications are interacting with either other one application or multiple applications at a time. Either directly calling. In this time, if the end user, if the customer trying to purchase the product through ICICI Bank, in that time, Amazon is directly hitting to the ICICI. In this time, there is no concept like Kafka. There is no concept like messaging queues, messaging systems. Amazon directly talks with ICICI. If the customer belongs to Access, Amazon is directly communicating with the Access. If the customer is a HDFC, Amazon will talk with the HDFC direct. That is concept is different, and this concept is different. We will discuss how to make a communication between two applications or a number of applications with the REST calls, with the messaging queues. These are all topics related to our course. Okay. Now, observe carefully. For example, National Stock Exchange application is there. That is a stock brokerage company application. Under that, lot of sub-brokerage applications are there. Angel, Upstart, Motilal, Zerodha, Sharekhan. Okay, like this, a number of applications are there. Whenever National Stock Exchange display the stock, particular company stock, then all these the stock brokerage companies like Motilal, Zerodha, Sharekhan, okay, Angel, Upstock, these companies are listening those messages and deliver to their customers. So everywhere in our real life, from wake up to sleep, we are knowingly or unknowingly, if you are language developer or if you are software developer, then you can understand what kind of applications we are using in our mobile or desktop or laptop. If the person is uneducated, they can use the application, but they don't know what kind of application it is. Most of the uneducated people also using Facebook, WhatsApp, okay, some Insta, TikTok, okay, for reels purpose. So they don't know what kind of application it is, but still they are using. The end user point of view, only whether the application providing the services or not. That's enough. How the develop, who develop, which company develop, what is the budget of that project, how many developers are involved, who is the tester, who is the develop team, who is the Redis team. They don't require. For example, I'm teaching this I'm giving some demonstration on SBMS. What do you want? How the Ramchandra is delivering the subject, whether that subject is understandable or not. Can he having the capable to deliver the subject in with the real-time standards or not? You have to observe only in the demonstration, but you don't require what kind of documentation he is preparing and what kind of websites he is using, how he is resolving, how much stuff he is there, he is having in his brain. They, those kind of things you don't require. You require only how the Ramchandra is delivering the concept. That is the most important. Here is also same thing. If we are a software developer, then we know what happening in the background. We are not software developer, just we are using the application, that's enough. Okay, whatever the discussion it may be, in our real life, one applications will interacting with n number of other applications. How can we develop those kind of applications? To develop distributed applications, to develop distributed applications, we required web services. We required web services. We required web services. Then what is web services? Then what is a web services? Web services is a distributed technology. Web services is a distributed technology to develop distributed applications with interoperability. This word having lot of weightage. Interoperability. Interoperability. What is the meaning of interoperability? Do you know what language used to develop this Amazon? Do we know what language used to develop ICICI? Do we know what language used in the background to develop HDFC? Don't know. Do you know what in which server this Amazon is running? ICICI running? Do you know what kind of database you used for running this Amazon, ICICI, HDFC? Don't know. See here, for example, let me consider like this. This is one Java application running on the Windows 64-bit. 64-bit. This is ICICI. This is one .NET application running in the Linux, some kind of bit. Okay. Now, this is one Python related application. This is one Python related application running in the Mac OS. Running in the Mac OS. This is some Kotlin or Groovy kind of application. Groovy kind of application. It is running on the Solaris. Now here the point is, what is the meaning of interoperability? Interoperability means irrespective of language, irrespective of what is that operating system, or irrespective of bit, one application will be interacting with a number of applications. That is called interoperability. That is called interoperability. For example, let me take, this is Ramchandra. This is what Ashwin, and this is like who is that Prasad. Now let us take a small example, Ashwin, and this is Prasad. Now observe here. Do you know my native place? Do you know to which state I'm belonging? Do you know my mother tongue? Don't know. I too also don't know your mother tongue and from which state you are belonging or which district you are belonging. I don't know. And currently in which location you are staying or living. But still, today from the last 40 minutes, we has been interacting with each other and we are learning the Spring Boot microservices related topic. So somebody is providing platform to us. Somebody is providing platform to us. Who is that somebody? Swati, or nothing but Prakalpana. Prakalpana arranging this demonstration. Prakalpana is give a platform to gather here. So Prakalpana is the mediator between you and me in the same manner, between to make a communication between application, somebody, some mediator required. That mediator is nothing but web services. So this web services doesn't bother about what language application, what language based application, or what server kind of application or bit kind of application, doesn't matter. Finally, applications are going to interacting with the service, interacting with each other, and providing the services and consume the services, sending the request and getting the responses. That is the meaning of interoperability. Interoperability means irrespective of OS and a language, applications can interacting with each other and resolve resolve their requirements, resolve their requirements, requirements, resolve their requirements. Then you people getting the doubt like, sir, how applications are interacting with each other. If Amazon is a Java based application, ICICI is a .NET based application, how Java coding can understand by ICS, how ICS, sorry, how Java syntax can understand by .NET, how Java request format understand by .NET, and how .NET format, response format understand by Java. You might be getting the doubt like that. Maybe Ashwin mother tongue is Hindi, and Prasad mother tongue is some Tamil, and my mother tongue is Telugu. But finally, we people are interacting with each other with the support of a language which can be understood by all these three people. That is English, a common language, a mediator, which is understood by all participants and which is understood by trainer, which is understood by participant and which is understood by trainer. That is English. Here is also same thing. Here is also same thing. So whenever Amazon trying to communicating with the ICICI, or Amazon trying to communicating with the DTDC or Blue Dot, or whenever Kentucky eligibility system can communicating with the SSI web, or RTO application communicating with the other application, or makemetrip.com application communicating with any other travel related applications, or any national stock exchange communicating with any brokerage companies like Motilal, Zerodha, Sharekhan, Upstack, whatever the communication it may be, communication always happening through a universal coding formats. Those universal coding formats is nothing but JSON and XML. Distributed applications always exchange the data. Distributed applications always exchanging the data in the form of XML and JSON format. XML and JSON format. What is XML? What is marshalling? What is unmarshalling? How to converting XML to Java, Java to XML, JSON to Java to JSON. What is JOXB context? What is JOXN API? These are all we will discuss as a part of the RESTful services related to XML and JSON. Don't worry. Distributed applications always exchanging the data in the form of XML and JSON format. Data means request and response here. Request and response. So who is actually sending the request and who is actually getting the responses? HTTP protocol is used to transfer our request and responses. To develop, I told you already, to develop distributed applications, we are using a distributed technology. That distributed technology name is web services. Web services is classified into two types. One is SOAP based web services. Simply we can say like a SOAP web services or SOAP services. Another one is RESTful services. SOAP services and RESTful services. So in Spring Boot microservices, as I mentioned our course, in Spring Boot microservices, we have a concept like RESTful services. So is only supporting to share the data in the form of XML. in the form of XML, whereas RESTful services supporting to share the data, both XML and JSON. Nowadays, whatever the applications which we are going to develop, we are always using RESTful services. RESTful services. Initially, we have JOX B API, okay, JOX RPC, JOX RPC, JOX WS, JOX WS, JOX RS, JOX RS. JOX mean Java API for XML. Okay, remote procedure call, web services, RESTful services. Like this, some libraries are given by Sun Microsystem. Initially, to work with the SOAP services, RESTful services, we have some libraries. Those libraries are outdated. Now we are using Spring and Spring Boot. Especially nowadays, people are using Spring Boot to developing RESTful services. Okay, Spring Boot we are using to developing RESTful services. In simple terminology, we can say one thing. What is RESTful services? RESTful services are used to developing distributed applications. What is meaning of distributed application? Or business to business application? An application will interacting with n number of other applications. Make my trip application will communicating with other application. Kentucky eligibility system will communicating with the SSA web, and bank application will communicating with the other application, and what we can calling as PAN card application. And Amazon will communicating with the courier application. Amazon will communicating with the banking application. How these communication can be able to develop with the support of RESTful services. With the support of RESTful services, communication between web application. In one word, around 50 minutes we discussed. 50 minutes we discussed about only one point. What is that? Yeah, to develop communication or interaction between web applications, we are using RESTful services. Then what about microservices, sir? What about microservices? So we don't have time to talk about microservices. In tomorrow's session, we will talk. Before, see, we have to talk about what is monolith, what is microservices, what is the drawbacks of monolith and advantage of monolith. Later we will start what is microservices advantage, and interview room they will ask you what are the limitations of the microservices. Very important topic is there that we are going to discuss as a second demo, that is in tomorrow. Okay, before that, before wind up the session, see, as I said, these are the main concepts. Guys, in the AWS, I'm going to talk about AWS RDS. AWS batch is different. Whatever the services of AWS which are required to run our SBMS project, those services I'm teaching here. S3 bucket, okay, EC2 mission, EC2 mission. So these topics only I'm going to cover in the AWS. AWS is not a part of a Spring Boot microservices course, guys. With my special interest, I am giving these 3 services in our SBMS batch. Okay, now observe carefully. So most of the people, why I'm going to show my documentation means, if I'm asking in my all demo sessions, if I'm asking like, you have any doubts, means people are asking like, sir, are you going to cover Kafka? Are you going to cover all the security techniques like JWT, in-memory, JDBC, what? Like these questions are asking. So that is the reason I'm showing entire my course content. So first of all, we are going to learn what is Spring and what is Spring Boot. What is Spring and Spring Boot? So most of the people, they are having confusion about RESTful services and microservices are having same kind of functionality. No, that is not true. Both are entirely different. In the same manner, most of the learners, the people who are working in companies, they knew already. they knew already, but the people who are learning, who are studying any courses like MCA, BTech or MTech or whatever it may be, those people are having some confusing like, and most of the students thinking like Spring and Spring Boot are different. If you have that point in our mind, please be remove that point. Please be removed. So once we completion of the microservices concept, I'm going to launch what is Spring and what is Spring Boot. Okay, don't worry. It's very, very simple. That is, we can play with the concepts. And again, people are asking the questions like, sir, how are you going to cover programming? We are learning programming only, guys. Theory is only helpful for cracking the interview, not sustain in the job. So as if you are working in the company, you know that the people who are not working, for those people, I'm telling this point, in theory is only useful for crack the interview, but not to sustain in the market or not sustain in the job. So we are going to learn each and every topic through programming, through program. My strength is programming. Every concept, whatever the points which I'm writing theoretically in the screen, on top of every point we have a program. That is my promise. That is my promise. Okay. See, this is a Spring framework. First of all, we are going to learn what is Spring Boot, Spring, and what is Spring Boot, introduction of Spring Boot, advantage and disadvantages of Spring and Spring Boot. Okay. And after that, what kind of starters do we have? Okay. How to develop Spring Boot applications, and what is auto configuration. Again, with my special interest, I'm teaching some design patterns. I'm teaching some design patterns under the prerequisites of Spring Boot. As I mentioned, prerequisites of Spring Boot. With my special interest, I'm teaching some design patterns. Okay, only strategy is sufficient, but learning all these design patterns are helpful to understand the code related to SBMS. So some different kind of annotations, auto wiring, dependency injections, IOC container, log4j. As I said, I'm going to teach some real-time tools also. Log4j I'm going to highlight here. After that, web MVC, what is MVC introduction, MVC design pattern, front control design pattern, what are the handlers, handler mappings, view resolver, views, model and view, only model. So all these points, what is embedded servers, Tomcat and Jetty, how to work with the JSP, how to work with the timeleaf, how to handle the exceptions, how to send the email notification from our Spring Boot application, what is actuators, and database related, what is a code repository, GPA repository, paging and sorting repository, pagination, searching. See, if you are see this Flipkart application, how we are going to learn, I'm teaching here. See guys, whenever we log into Flipkart and searching about the mobiles, prices are displaying like this: 6,000, 10,000, 5,000, 6,000, 6,000, 5,000, 7,000, 15,000. I need all the prices in sorting order, either lower to high, high to low. 612, 629, 630, 630, 634, 638, 39, 39, 49. So how prices are displaying in ascending order. And per page, how many mobiles are displaying, how many mobiles details are displaying, 24 mobiles. That is called pagination. If you go to third page, or if you go to second page or third page, so 49 to 72. 49 to 72 per page, 24 records. If you open Gmail, per page 50 records, how it will be? Pagination. And total how many mobiles are there? 8,600 mobiles are there. I need a mobile from 10,000 to 30,000. Samsung brand I required. 4-star rating I required. Okay, 8 GB and more I required. Internal storage like 256 and above. Battery capacity is 6,000 and above. So 8,600 mobiles, how many mobiles are displaying here? 200. How the mobiles are filtering? Yeah, those kind of concepts we are going to learn under the data GPA, pagination, sorting, dynamic sector filtering, generators, profiles, Spring Boot batch, DDL commands, embedded databases. And we are working with the MySQL database as well as Oracle database as well as HDO database also. Okay, how to work with the transaction management, and what is composite primary key? What is composite primary key? What is composite primary key? Okay, how to develop custom generators. Good. So different kind of concepts, RESTful services. What is distributed application? Today we see distributed application and distributed technology and RESTful web services introduction. Okay, what is REST principle? What is XML, JSON, marshalling? Like this, n number of topics are there. Postman, Swagger. Okay, secure exception handling in Spring, web exception handling in Spring REST, JWT, Worth, Mono, reactive programming, REST template, web client. Yes, as I said, we are going to develop the communication between applications by using RESTful services. We can develop RESTful services in 3 ways. RESTful services. We can develop RESTful services. We can develop RESTful services in 3 ways. What are the 3 ways? One is REST template. Another one is FIAN client. Another one is web client. So like this, we have different approach. These two we are learning in the RESTful services and REST template and web client we are learning in the RESTful services. FIAN client we are going to learn in the microservices. Got it, Anna? Like that. What is synchronization and blocking, asynchronization and unblocking? What is monolith? What are the advantages and disadvantages of monolith? What is microservices? What is load balancing? What is client side and server side load balancing? Different kind of programs related load balancing. Okay, load balancing. This is nowadays accounts are not created in the Heroku. Yeah, we are learning some few services in the AWS. What is admin server and Slate and Zipkin, configuration server. What is local class and distributed cache? What is ribbon? Okay, what is Apache Kafka? This is called messaging queues or messaging systems. Messaging systems. Okay, publisher and subscriber architecture, like this. These are the main course. This is the main course of Spring Boot microservices. So today we seen what is RESTful services. Tomorrow we are going to understand what is the difference between RESTful and microservices. Later we will start our regular sessions. So today and tomorrow I'm planning to give the demonstrations, and from day after tomorrow, or if time is there, I'm going to start actual session from tomorrow itself. Are you comfortable with this course content? And are you comfortable with my explanation?
Yes, sir.
If you have any queries, let me know right now. Mr. Ashwin, Prasad, and Rakesh, if you have any queries, let me know.
So I have a query.
Subject related queries only. Yeah.
So for my resume, I'll need at least 2 projects, one based on Spring Boot, the other based on microservices.
Yes, definitely. I'm giving promise not 2+, I'm giving promise like 3+.
Okay, sir. Thank you. So, and one more request I have.
Yeah, please.
Could you share your LinkedIn profile on the chat if possible?
No. I don't want to reveal my company details and all these details. That is a problem to my company. Yes, already I face a lot of problems. Some other institute people, what happened, they reveal my timings and company details, and their contact to my companies. Already 2 times I faced all these things. That is the reason I don't want to give my personal details. Sorry for that.
All right, sir. No.
Yeah, sorry for that. Good. Yeah, that's all for today's demonstration. We'll meet tomorrow. Tomorrow we are going to understand what is microservices and everything. Don't worry, guys. if you are keep on practicing and continue my classes without any option, whatever the assignments which I'm giving, if you go through those assignments and not only see everyday images, everyday programs, and what we can calling as whatever the things which I'm typing in front of you, those things, nothing but notes. Along with, I'm going to share interview questions also. I'm going to share interview questions also. Spring Boot microservices. There is some interview questions also there. I'm going to share Spring Boot questions. So I'm giving from my side, I'm giving promise. Definitely, you can keep 3+ years of experience. That much of subject I'm going to give. But every topic is important. In the some people, whatever the batches I taken, see, continuously I'm taking batches here. Don't be shocked. See, 9 a.m., 7 a.m., 6 p.m., 7 p.m. Okay, we go to my previous batches. See, lot of Spring Boot batches. 4 p.m., 5 p.m., 7 p.m. If I reveal my what is that company details, people are going to shock. And some other institute people are giving the complaint due to these many batches I'm taking regular. So that is the reason I don't want to reveal my details. Yeah, somebody asking my details. That is the reason. So some competitors of institutes, they will release my. If I'm tell, I don't know which student is joining with heartfully and which one is coming for demo. I don't know. Na? That is the reason I don't want to reveal my details. Sorry for that. And so you can keep 3+ years of experience here, no doubt at all. That much of clarity and potentiality of subject I'm going to give you. And one more thing is, please, these are whatever the points which I mentioned here, kindly go through these points. What is abstraction? Sir, we are working employee, we know very well all these things. I'm not asking theoretically. I need in detail information about what is inheritance, in the inheritance concept, what is upcasting, what is a downcasting, what is a runtime polymorphism and loosely coupling. That point I'm going to handle. And the basic idea on exception handling, and basic idea on at least basic idea on collection framework, at least array list and hash map. At least if we have knowledge on these things, we can understand Java. We can understand Spring Boot microservices. Nobody will stop us. And kindly practice here. And me too, employee, you people also, some people are belonging to working employee. Sir, I don't have time to do the work, but how I'm doing my work in my office and how I'm taking the classes. So please be careful, and please be provide more attention while learning this course. More practice is necessary to become a master in SBMS. If you want to keep 2+3+ years of experience, theory is not sufficient. We have hands-on experience. Once we enter into the company, nobody will help us. To be honestly speaking, my mama is there. My mama is HR. My mama is team lead. My brother is team lead. Don't go for those kind of things. Layoffs are more and more. So please, only talented people, workaholic people only can stay in the companies. Remaining come and go and play. These kind of employees are not encouraging, are not entertaining by the IT companies. So my heartily advice is, and a request also, whatever you want, whatever the way you want to take this wording, you can take. Please kindly practice, even though you are working employee. At least if you are working employee, I know how the difficulty is there. At least 1 hour. If you are not a working employee, kindly practice more and more hours. Then only we will become a masters. Masters means not like Ramchandra kind of teaching. Master means strong at coding. Okay. So that's all for today's session and today demonstration. If any queries like fees and everything, you can contact with the Swati. So that's all for today's session here. Have a great day. Bye bye. We'll meet tomorrow. Have a nice day.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.